I think my daily routine is that I have no daily routine. It's been a little bit crazy these last few months, years, and if I know anything, it's that there's no routine. I try to get to the gym if I can, but then also there are some days where you just need to like love yourself and take care of yourself and sleep in until noon, and I really look forward to being able to do that. Yeah. So the process was, obviously auditioning many rounds. In the beginning, they don't even tell you you're auditioning for a Marvel movie. They just give you these 2 scenes from another movie that you have to audition with. So I got 2 scenes from Good Will Hunting, Matt Damon's part, and so I had an inkling of what I was auditioning for, but I just didn't really know for sure. So I sent in the audition. After a while, got invited to LA to meet the director, and then from there, I did what was called a screen test, which is kind of like a final round audition in New York, and was cast July of 2019. 4 days after that, flew out to Comic-Con, was announced in front of the whole world, and then from that point onwards, I knew that I had to work pretty hard because my martial arts was not where I needed it to be. I was not the... Shang-Chi is like one of the best hand-to-hand fighters in the world, so I was like, okay, I got a lot of work to do. So I worked with trainers and stunt people pretty much from the moment I was cast, so 6 months of like every single day, and like I want to say like 3 or 4 hours of stunts, of movement, of martial arts, and then 1 to 2 hours of strength and conditioning to build my body, because these physical movies, it's such a marathon, and there's so much physicality associated with it. It's a real toll on your body. I think these are special roles. They have such a special place in our culture. They represent, it's kind of like hope and possibility, and this idea of like doing the right thing, of moral uprightness, and it feels amazing. It's an incredible honor to be, the first person of Asian heritage to be able to take on that lead character, to be the center of that story. It's very rare, and I take it as an opportunity to inspire, the millions of kids that didn't have that, and then also to share in our culture with people who aren't Asian or who aren't Chinese, that we're building a bridge with our film and our character as well. I think in making the movie, it's that, and I would have conversations with Destin about this all the time, our director. I think it was just this idea that you can have the best action sequences, and an audience won't care about them unless you really invest in the character. And so that's, I think, what we set out to do, was to make a compelling story, to tell a compelling story with a character that audiences can get behind. And if you can get behind the characters, like you get behind Shang-Chi and Wenwu, then you care about what happens in these action sequences. It's not about, oh, they're fighting again, or there's, okay, now they're in a car, now they're doing hand-to-hand. It's like, but you really care about what happens to these characters, and you care about the way in which they fight each other, whether it's Wenwu and Li and they're falling in love, or it's Wenwu and Shang-Chi and they're, meeting basically after so many years, and they have all this pent-up frustration towards each other. I think that's what makes an action movie great. And I think all the credit in the world to Destin. He's such a talented and special filmmaker. He really made sure that through all of the fight scenes, like, you were emotionally invested, and that's a hard thing to do. Chopa is good. She's I miss her very much. She's in Pennsylvania right now, just because I've been bouncing around. I had to obviously host SNL this past week, so she's with a friend, but I can't wait to be reunited with her. How did the whole thing happen? We were in the Dominican Republic shooting a movie, and in the movie we had a lot of background dogs that kind of play the stray dogs in the Dominican Republic, because as you know, there are a lot of stray dogs around just in the countryside. Sometimes there are families that put out food and take care of them. That's just kind of how it works. And so we're doing this movie. We had these background dogs that were being supplied by this animal shelter out of Santo Domingo called Alberguesos. So, you know, obviously me being the person that I am, the moment I saw the dogs, I was like, oh great, there goes my work day. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna hang out with these dogs. And Chopa was really special. She and I just kind of had a special bond, and I kind of inquired with the person who was her handler, and I asked if I could foster her for a few days, and he said, no problem, I'll bring her by your hotel. And pretty much from the second day, I was like, I'm not gonna give her back, I'm sorry. But it was really great because it was an opportunity for me to spread awareness about the shelter, and it was an opportunity for me to support the shelter. And so I you know, obviously I was able to make a nice financial contribution, and then I brought her with me. I feel like so many dogs that I encountered in the Dominican Republic, some of them in the shelter, some of them just out in the street, they all have such a wonderful demeanor about them, and they're all just so gentle and sweet and kind. It really touched me, and you know, I would encourage everybody to kind of, if you're in or around the Dominican Republic, or if you're considering, you know, getting a dog, you know, instead of going for a breeder, look into you know, one of these shelters, because it really is incredible, and these dogs are incredible. Chopa is the best. She's the best.